And we are live. Welcome to Facebook quarantine. Welcome to Today in Quarantine, everybody.
I'm so happy it's not a Facebook quarantine. What would we do with ourselves?
I don't know what I would do. I think I would just be like lying on the floor, probably reading a book, which is probably what I need to be doing on a regular basis. But
it's true. It really is like a online overdose, right? Like in a generation that is depressed and full of anxiety, and where internet usage kind of lends to that. COVID-19 is really messing us up because that's essentially what's happening now. Like it's almost an allowed overdose of internet. So you guys gotta self-discipline in this, okay? Like structure your time. I have to structure my time. This time is the only time I'm gonna be on. All right. Nothing more than that.
Good for you. Good for you, because I am scared to see what my iPhone says, like my screen time is tomorrow morning for this past week, because it's going to be one scary thing, I tell you. I've already had to charge my phone today because it was at 1%. So
really, yeah, me too. I've had to charge it too. It's crazy. So tell me, Renee, what have you been doing today in quarantine?
Well, today in quarantine, I went church hopping because of this quarantine. There's just so much stuff that's happening at different churches. I visited like 3 or 4 churches this morning, all from the comfort of my office chair, and just kind of rolled around. I went to CVC. I went to Northside. I think I went to a random one in like Georgia or Florida. Yeah, and because I could, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. Why can't I?
It is kind of. It's kind of like Sabbath mornings. You know, you have like these 10 outfits that you're going to choose for church. And then because you didn't choose one the night before, like you don't know which one you don't know what to wear. That's essentially what's happening with church worship options. You know, you got the Adventist church, you got the Elevation church, you got 3ABN, you got, all the other ones. For those watching, which ones did you tune in today? I mean, I have my favorite one, because I was on it. And because Pastor Harold preached a dynamic sermon today.
It was really good.
Which ones are you guys going to? What is the and aside of that, which, if there's any, because so many people are spending so much time online, who are your influencers right now that are speaking into your life? Like, who are you following personally that feeds you?
Well, I know that I'm not following anybody specific right now, but I'm just kind of like zipping around and seeing who is doing what, I guess. Just kind of seeing everybody on my Facebook, on my what's it called? Instagram, all my Instagram stories, and just kind of being like, okay, that's what somebody's doing. But one interesting thing that I think happened this week was Rend Collective, which is a band for those of you who might not know. They did this online worship experience, and I think they've done it twice now, which has been pretty cool. They're not exactly social distancing, but it's a group of like 6 people together, and they're just praying and like praising online, and that's super cool. Like, who would have thought? And they did it before everybody was like freaking out about this, I think. So that was a good move on their part. So that's one person I'm just kind of following.
No, that's great. Honestly, I'm an influencer follower. I just go with whatever feeds me at the moment. So I'll hop from this person to this, ministry to here. Who do I like the best? I don't know if there's I like Storyline Church. I'm not going to lie. That's with Ty Gibson. They be putting out some good material. What else? I think that's probably the one I've been following the most faithfully. But it's so crazy, the level of internet output, like the type of content that needs to be coming out right now. It's like everyone is online. Everyone is pushing something, which I think is great. But I did get a question. I was talking to some of the leaders yesterday that I work with here with the young adults. And, someone was like, well, I don't know. And I'm not shouting this person out, I'm not throwing shade. But they said something to effect of, well, I want to be plugged in, but I don't want to push other people aside if they also want to minister. And my initial response was like, whoa, there's 327 million people in the United States. You got something to do. You got a gift, you got a skill, you got a talent. Like, you need to be online before the internet crashes. You need to be online, sharing with them what the Lord is doing through you, the skills that He's giving you, the talents. Like, this is your time to step up and to shine. So shine. There's enough room. There's not enough people being reached to. And it's a great ministry opportunity.
It's true. It's true. There's a lot that's happening online. And let's see, there's some people who have joined us. I just want to say hi. Hey, Julio and Stacy and Teresa and Ivy and Matt and Andrew, I think are the people who are watching online right now. And Stacy says, "Hey, Renee and Pastor Gual, love that you ladies are doing this." Well, we love you, Stacy. Miss you a lot. And yeah, so one of the things that I was reading this morning on Twitter, this guy was like, man, the fact that so many churches are doing online services is just wild. Like, why are so many people doing this? And it was an interesting perspective. That wasn't his complete idea, but he was like, yeah, the church should be doing more, not just, posting their service online, which I totally agree with. Yeah.
Yeah. So what more can churches do, right? Trying to consider the fact that if we are meeting with people, that we could be spreading this virus, right? Even the doctors that we mentioned this yesterday, are telling us to stay home. What is the more that we can do? I mean, ideas are fantastic, but what if we I don't know those ideas. So you have to share those ideas so we can share it with the other pastoral teams, right?
Yeah. I think he was saying kind of some ideas of just being like, hey, our whole church service isn't just like our whole church isn't just online. It's more than that, and I think that's some of the stuff that we're going to be starting this week with the young adults, with like discussion posts and things that are interactive more than just like person talking to people. It's people talking with each other and being a community in that time.
No, that's great. That's absolutely true. Yeah, I think what's that hashtag? We're not the only College View Church is not the only church using this hashtag. I'm sure we probably copied it from someone else. It's called off-site but not offline. This idea that we are little churches. The Holy Spirit dwells in us. God is with us and lives within us. The church is not dead. The church is not shut down. Like, you're the church. Like, go out to minister. I went to walk my dog today, and I have an elderly neighbor who lives across the street from me. I never see this brother, but today I saw him in his pajamas, which is really odd, going to get his mail, and I just yelled at him because I had tried before, and he just did not open his door, and I was like, "Hey, sir, like, if you need anything, like, let us know, we'll go get it." He was like, "You're gonna regret that, little lady," and I was like, "I don't think I will." So I there's an opportunity, like, to me that was great, because now it's almost like a social expectation that people are going to approach you about helping you, and the help is going to be received easier. So I think that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
I want to share with you, I don't know if you guys saw it. I don't even want you guys to go and look it up, but somebody shared online like the negative side effects on being on a Zoom call or a Zoom conference. So there was a woman, I guess she thought she had shut off her camera, but she was in a Zoom conference with about like 15 other people. She took her phone with her, walked on over to the bathroom, put her phone down. Everyone was just looking and in shock, except for the speaker. He was just trying to just push through. And in front of everyone in the chat, she took her pants down and sat on the toilet and began her business. And it wasn't until someone said, "Hey, everyone can see you." She just moved the fastest she probably ever moved in her life and turned the camera away. So guys, there are negative side effects to using Zoom and online conferencing. Make sure your camera is off when you don't want no one to see your business, literally. And that could also be a pun.
Oof. That's rough. But speaking of puns, we've got some jokes for you today, because as you guys know, I am a lover and a strong proponent of dad jokes and keeping the tradition of dad jokes alive and well with whoever wants to hear them or doesn't want to hear them, because that makes a true dad joke, because nobody wants to hear them. So Pastor Gual had one, and I'm gonna let her go ahead with her one joke.
Yeah, I've been prepping this. Okay, I didn't. I just told it one time before we went on the air. It says, what if all the toilet paper wasn't bought? What if it was raptured? When the roll is called up yonder. No?
That's a knee slapper. Wish you could see my knee. There we go. There we go. That was pretty great.
I lived high and low on that for that one.
Here's one that's also coronavirus related. What kind of jokes can we tell while we're in quarantine? Inside
What kind of jokes? That's awesome. That's really good. I like that one. Feel free, everyone, to copy this and share them with your friends to pass along the positivity.
Oh yeah, please. Because and share them with me if you know them too. Just send me a message. But there are a couple more people who commented. Jocelyn says, "Sup, homies? Happy Sabbath. Sup, homie? Happy Sabbath. Welcome to today on today in quarantine." And Teresa says, "I'm thinking of our seniors too. Many of them, unless they are very hard of hearing, would appreciate a daily or regular phone call. They still appreciate and understand. Set up phone trees to make calling, to make regular calling a way to reach them." Yeah, that's a great idea. I was just thinking about I need to call my grandma sometime soon just to reach out.
That's some good insight. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And Teresa also said,
I had a young adult call me yesterday. The young adult called me. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Okay.
No, I was going to say, yesterday I had a young adult call me, and we were on the phone for maybe about 40 minutes. And at the end of that phone call, I just felt so good. I felt so revived, because I'm an extrovert by nature. And just to be able to have this kind of interaction really gave me life. So yeah, Teresa, I'm with you 100%. Let's not forget our elderly. Let's not forget anybody on our friend list. If you haven't picked up your phone and called somebody to check on them and just to see how they're dealing with COVID-19, like this is the time for that personal ministry endeavor. Absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Sure.
There are a couple more people who joined. Just saying, there's a lot of people who have at least stopped in once or twice. So just waving a general hi to everybody. Thanks for joining us today in quarantine. Let's see. I had another joke. This one's kind of a dad joke and a Sabbath joke. Why did the macaroni go to church? Because
why?
Because he was the pasta. That one was kind of corny.
I thought that was great. Give a thumbs up if you thought that was a great joke. Yeah, I'm really loving these dad jokes. They're so good. One of the things that, because of the world of texting and technology, some of us have kind of become like not as good as having these conversations over the telephone, right? So like, what are some questions that we could ask to start to begin a conversation over the phone? So I was just doing some like very minimal non-academic research via Google, okay, about what are some of these questions that we could ask that are lean more towards a positive instead of constantly talking about how we can't leave our home and just like the things that make us sad. So what are these questions? So one of the questions was, what's the first thing you're going to do once we can gather in large crowds again? I think that's a good question.
That is a good question,
right? Yeah. Renee, what's the first thing you're gonna do?
Oh man, the first thing I'm gonna do is probably just like go somewhere and just walk around without fear. I'm just probably gonna like go to Walmart and just be like, touch everything. Maybe not quite when we get out of quarantine, but that's definitely on my list.
Yeah. I was having a conversation. Yeah. No, and I was just gonna say I want to have a party, but like it's a 7-day wedding-like party where you have fun, where you have a party in a different person's house every night for 7 days.
Oh wow, that's gonna be awesome. That'd be awesome. Like one of those like biblically epic parties, like just like just everywhere. Yes. That'll be fun. Invite me. I'll go. I mean, I might be one of those people who'll be like, hey, I'll be back in 12 hours, but I'll definitely be there.
Awesome. One of the other questions is, what do you think is the I kind of asked that already. What do you think is the best show on Netflix right now? Okay, I'm keeping in mind that it's the Sabbath, but there is a show on Netflix that really it's like doing minimal research. I forget the name of it. It's kind of like what is that? Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. You know, when he used to play like what is, you know, like how does this work? And he used to show the videos and like take you on a tour of the factories. It's basically that, except without Fred Rogers, and it's way longer than the Fred Rogers videos. So like, how does, you know, ventilators work? And then you go to the factory and they teach about ventilators, or how does human trafficking work, or how does, you know, the one I saw was about bootleg makeup, why you shouldn't buy bootleg makeup, and how it's made and how it's sold. I forget the name of it. If you know that name, like post it in the comments. That's a really good show, and it's educational. I feel entertained. I don't feel like it's a waste of time after I've watched it, you know, for like 2 shows in a row.
Yeah. One of these episodes, we're going to have to do something about like podcasts and Netflix shows and stuff that we are and finding interesting, because I think there's a lot of stuff out there that definitely is like entertaining and also informational and just, you know, good stuff to engage in. Yeah. Well, it is 4:17. Do we have any other news or anything that we want to share, or anything happening? I don't think CVC has anything else happening today, right?
No, we have nothing else happening today, but we starting Monday morning. Don't forget, if you have children, if you have a family, if you like to be virtually gathered, Pastor Michael Paradise is leading out in family worship live at 10 a.m. every morning from Monday through Saturday. So that's a real cool way to connect and to, you know, feel inspired and be blessed. And, you know, we're going to continue today in quarantine daily at 4 p.m. every day, so join in. I'm sure that every day the length of time is going to change. But if you show up at 4 p.m. sharp, we will definitely be here.
We'll be here. Another thing that's happening, the one thing that I know that's happening today is that the Illinois Youth Conference, or Illinois Youth of the Illinois Youth Conference, they're having a Connect on Instagram Live at 6 p.m. So if you follow at illinois.youth, then you will be able to see their Instagram Live today at 6. And it's just going to be from 6 to 6:30, so pretty short. And it should be pretty great. I know some great people up at the Illinois Conference, and it has a special place in my heart. So shout out to you if you're from the Illinois Conference. And yeah, so join us then. And yes, I don't know, if you guys have stuff that you want us to talk about, please leave it in the comments, so that we can talk about it, because yeah, we like to talk because we're extroverts, and this is kind of hard. But I guess this is what introverts go through on the daily. So introverts, live your best life during this quarantine. Extroverts will unite via Zoom in our own homes.
Definitely. I want to challenge you guys to learn something new, right? Like whether it's a vocabulary word, you know, a daily vocabulary word, or memorize scripture, or follow a church program that you've never thought you would. I don't know, or take a class via, you know, YouTube University. You know, we have a lot of time. You're not going to write a book, and hopefully you won't be able to write a book in the time that we're quarantined. But
maybe you're a really fast writer, so maybe you will write a book. I mean,
it's a possibility. That's true. Renee, if you're trying to step up to that challenge and write a book, I'd love to see that. I would read Renee's book. So don't sleep on Renee.
All right. Well, this was Today in Quarantine. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. again in quarantine, and we'll do this as long as all of us are socially distancing and in quarantine. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. Have a great rest of your Sabbath, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys. Happy Sabbath. Happy rest day. That's what Sabbath means. Bye.
Bye.